Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne Season 8, our final stop of our Season 8 tournament, where the last two qualifiers will make it through to the World Championships. And of course, there are some open bracket slots in Katowice, but players really want to qualify from Cologne. And we've already kicked off with Rain versus Hyun. Sean, difficult really to know what to say about Hyun's game in there, because he didn't really do an awful lot wrong, but Rain just too strong.
Yeah, Rain just did everything right. He just outclassed Hyun a little bit there in Game 1 and Game 2. And it's so simple, you look at it, and it's you compare it to any other Protoss versus Zerg game, and you say, how are you doing so much damage with the same units that every other Protoss player has? Yeah. And he just made him look like nothing.
I was looking at it just going, he almost bores me with the way he's playing, and I don't mean that disrespectfully, but it's so calm and calculated. There's no fuss, there's no stress. It's just, oh, you've got some roaches, I'll just destroy them. Oh, you've got some queens, I'm going to pick them up and destroy them with Phoenix. It's no problem. It's all very calm and no problem at all. He just seems unfazed by anything.
Yeah, that's
I don't really know how you can break him.
There's a couple of Protoss players in Pro League that have come from the Kesper teams that play just like that. They just play the normal style and they crush. Dia is a main example of that from last year. And then he plays the same as Rain just did. Classic is another player that if he plays against a Zerg player this one will play the same. It's just so clean, minimal mistakes, and just destroys a Zerg player instantly.
Yeah. Okay, for those of you who are just joining us, we will show you the bracket right now just to show you how Group A is going along. It's a dual tournament format, so those of you who are familiar with WCS and GSL will know this system very well. Of course, the two winners of the first matches will play each other for the first spot in the quarterfinals. The rest will drop down to the lower half of the bracket, and the two losers will face each other, which means we're now going to move on to our second game, ForGG versus HerO. ForGG, you and I... A Terran, finally. I was going to celebrate, but I'm trying to get too carried away because he's in a tough group here. But we know an awful lot about ForGG. You and I have spent pretty much the whole of 2013 in his company in terms of WCS, and we've seen just how great he can be. His TVP wasn't super great last year. I mean, again, way better than mine, but, you know, that's not hard. But his TVP in Asus ROG actually looked pretty strong. So he has a chance against HerO, right?
Yes, he does. He comes into tournaments sometimes, and as you said, doesn't look the best in TVP, but he's had glimmers of brilliance throughout his career. For anybody that is a massive ForGG fan, you'll remember in the WCS Season 1 finals in Korea, he went to the season finals, he opened up against Liquid HerO, 2-0 on the main stage at the OGN studios, and people were like, oh, wait a minute, how did he do that? And then not only did he do that, but he then went on to beat SOS 2-1. So he's had throughout his career these really sparks of brilliance, and in recent times, just like in a couple of weeks ago in Finland, he showed that again. He absolutely has a chance against HerO.
Okay, let's talk about Liquid HerO. He's not a frequenter of the Intel Extreme Masters, it has to be said. It's great to have him here. It's almost like we've had a HerO win the last two. Are we going to get a 3 in a row, but from two different named players called HerO?
Depends on which HerO we're going to see. We haven't actually seen him play any games yet, but if he shows the HerO that we all love and know, and that we all basically grew up around his stream when we first started seeing him play, where we were like, wait a minute, this guy is amazing. And if he brings out that caliber of play, he can challenge for top 3, and if not a winner himself.
Okay, and it's still winter, so, you know.
Yeah, technically, yes.
Technically
even though it's not been snowing yet in Cologne,
but
not at all.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like winter here at all, but it is still winter, and we all know about summers of Tasia and winters of HerOs, and there's still a chance for that to happen. Prediction for this game? Are you sticking with HerO?
How far is HerO away for GG? Okay, they're both away.
He's fine, I don't think they can hear us.
I actually think this is going to be a ForGG win. I think 2-1 ForGG.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Liking the Terran love from Mr. Apollo. We'll hear from him at the end of the game. He's going to do some analysis for us. But now it's time to go over to our commentary team for ForGG versus HerO. Here's Kalaris and Todd.
Sean is on point, Todd. He knows what he's talking about. As we get into a TVP here, it's going to be pretty darn cool. I always like watching ForGG play, especially back in Finland just before, playing so well against Protoss. One map away from advancing onto the final of all things.
And actually, I think he was the only player to beat San in that tournament as well, who went on to win the tournament. So that proves that he's very high up there in the matchup right now, but the last time he played versus HerO, HerO won 2-0. That was online, and HerO's been playing very well versus Terran. But I do think that ForGG, if he's able to change his style for the better here, which I think he has, and he plays really well, he brings his A game, he's definitely going to have a chance. A few months ago, I've said this before, I would definitely have said HerO, and no way ForGG wins. But right now, this is going to be a very even match.
Yeah, ForGG is looking good at the moment, as it's the start of a new year, and he's looking to not only do well here, but looking to do well in WCS Europe. As we now start the map vetoes between ForGG and HerO.
Did he say Alterzim? I'm trying to read lips.
I think they just flipped a coin, man. They were like, yeah, I won. I mean, that's about it right now. And here we go. And he's pointing at something. What's it going to be, Todd? Don't have a clue yet.
Double veto for both of these players.
But in general, when you are playing against
I vetoed Daedalus.
Okay.
I guess because we've seen Blink being very successful on this map, and HerO is definitely one of those best Blink users there are out there. Usually when HerO goes for Blink, especially if he gets scouted, he likes to go for a third base, he likes to trick his opponent. He's not the super aggressive style, but if he was to do it on Daedalus, I guess ForGG does not have much confidence in holding it, because it is very strong on this map.
An Ultimate Stronghold gets removed for HerO here. It's hard to defend against all the multitudes of drops that can go on from Terran, so you do have to be careful about that as a Protoss.
If there's someone who can do it, I would say it's definitely somebody like HerO, but if it's easier on other maps, why risk it and play on Alterzim?
That's true. Very, very true. Habitation Station gets removed for ForGG. Again, a little bit treacherous in terms of the map. I mean, you know, if Protoss gets well established on a third base as well, then they can do quite a lot of punishment on that one. And then Heavy Rain disappears for HerO in the end.
All right. Interesting removals here.
Heavy Rain's another map that can blink, can be very effective on, though. So I'm surprised that HerO would get rid of that in the end.
The thing is, Terrans are going to be able to anticipate it quite well as well. It also applies for Reapers. You see double racks Reapers being used sometimes on that map, and defending drops against not going to be all that easy. Taking a third base is going to be very difficult too.
Yeah. Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah, because the Terran just drops up above it.
And I guess someone like ForGG, we have to keep this in mind. ForGG does not play your standard Terran versus Protoss. He likes to get a lot of units out without ghosts a lot of the time. He even gets some Hellbats to tank in front of his army. So I expect something out of ForGG, like a lot of Bioforces with a fairly quick third base, continuous SCV production, then a big explosion in his barracks count. Lots of upgrades. Probably no Ghost Academy for a long time, probably not even at all, and the Hellbats to tank. And basically trying to drop a lot and then going for a lot of attacks up front as well to do some stutter stepping against whatever he's up against. If it's Colossus, he's going to look to drop more. If he's playing against Templar Zealots, then he's going to look to basically attack at the front a lot more rather than drop, and stutter step as much as possible to never let his opponent get the critical mass. If he lets HerO at peace for like a few minutes, and HerO gets like 5 or 7 Templars with a Storm each, it's not like he's lost already, but he's just in such a bad position. So ForGG is always the guy to try and not let that happen. He wants to get you to lose units and use your spells, use your energy.
I think we described ForGG during WCS Europe, Sean and myself, as a pneumatic drill style of play, just constantly hammering away at you through them. There's nothing too fancy about his play style. He will just absolutely target you straight down the middle.
Hammering away, yeah?
It's scary,
so it's
man.
a bit of a Thor GG.
Oh!
If you think about it.
That's pretty good, actually. I'm impressed by that, Todd. I'm very impressed. As a big nerd myself, congratulations. But then we have HerO. He doesn't really attend too many Intel Extreme Masters. We haven't seen him too much, but he is here. He realizes the importance of these tournaments. He wants to go to Katowice, man. That is pretty much why I think HerO is here. He wants to go to Katowice. He wants to advance on. He wants to challenge for that 100,000, as well as the money here. But it's going to be a tall order. This tournament is stacked.
Yeah, and HerO, actually, he's been doing very well versus Terran. He beat ForGG in that online tournament. That's little online tournament again.
Yeah, that little one.
He beat Teja 3-1. Finally taking the revenge, because he had lost a few times to him before that. And then at Asus Rock, he only played one. That was Morrow 1-3-0. Not many Protosses that cannot do that. No offense to Morrow. And just kidding.
He's going to kill you.
And in the recent qualifier for Katowice World Championship, which was online, he played in the American qualifier, and in the round of 32, he was able to beat QXC, but later on lost to Gumiho, who, as much as he's a good player, if HerO's supposed to be a really, really good versus Terran, I don't think he should be losing to Gumiho in the matchup. So a little bit surprising here. And as much as Gumiho likes to open for some things like Banshees, and Gumiho is a multitask guy, a little bit more, probably more than ForGG. And other than that, I do feel that they have a similar style, because Gumiho is really good at getting in your face as much as possible while macroing very heavily compared to other Terrans. Even Teja, sometimes he's going to let the game pass by, like just wait a little bit, be a little bit more passive. These guys, like ForGG, you've said it, they hammer down their opponent the entire game. They always getting into their opponent's face, but HerO is so good at dealing with this.
Dude, I love it, man. He is now, from now on, ForGG. I am so in love with this. That's utterly brilliant. But now, let's get into game number 1 between two heroes, if you consider him to be ForGG, as we have this deciding series. See who will advance on to play against Rain for that first spot in our round of 8. Up to the top left-hand corner, we have our red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It's HerO. And down to the bottom left, we have our blue Terran representing Millennium. It's ForGG.
So these two played recently online, and they actually faced each other on this map as well. I do believe the positions were reversed, and obviously HerO was able to win 2-0, so he won on that map. And it was a very solid game. He just teched Storm, Colossus, and just defended well enough against ForGG style. It felt like ForGG in that series was a little bit uninspired compared to what we've seen him be able to do recently. So I'm sure ForGG will be satisfied about this position, since he likes to always be the one attacking, pressuring. He's going to have a good option at dropping the natural base of HerO. But then again, HerO, the guy always ready with Templars. He has a great reaction time. And actually, man, those gateways, they just scare me, man. Because I can already picture Zealots getting stuck in there. And it's funny, during the finals versus MC that HerO played recently, he got one of his Zealots stuck between his buildings in the middle of his base.
I do remember that, that's true. But at this point in time, HerO's just building that wall to maybe catch a Reaper if it were to come along and dance around. But ForGG's not doing that. I mean, this gas is a little bit later than you would normally see for a Reaper opening. So this is going to be a bit different here from ForGG.
Yeah, an early expand, most likely with a reactor and then a factory later on. What I'm very curious about is how fast ForGG is going to be taking a third. Especially after, I'm guessing he's going to scout very early on. Yeah, he's going for a scout already, even before his Reaper. Actually, he cannot get a Reaper here.
Yeah.
So he's going to go for the scouts. Upon seeing this, does he decide to go for some kind of 5 barracks? Or does he still go for the 3rd command center before adding the 4th and 5th barracks? And also, how fast does he upgrade? Does he stay on 1-1 or 1-0 for a long time, or does he try to upgrade as soon as possible?
Yeah.
I think if ForGG goes for a quick 3rd, and then add on extra barracks, and he macros very well, it's going to be really tough for HerO to deal with this.
Sick maneuver there by HerO, just barely spotting that SCV on the edge of his probe's vision, and does send that through, and actually hides his 2nd probe to go over to the Nexus. So really good moves by HerO so far in terms of just probe micro alone. It's a small thing, but it really matters.
Thank God he canceled Zealot, because that gateway for HerO wasn't rallied anywhere.
But the thing is that probe got up there as well. He saw that there was Marines, there was a reactor, so now he doesn't have to be fearful of a Reaper jumping around, anything like that. In this early stages of this game, HerO's going to feel pretty darn comfortable.
Well, if there's a reactor, it means his opponent mined gas, so there is going to be a factory following this, possibly having already started, even though at this timing not that likely. And so he knows he's going to have to get detection early now. What I'm expecting out of him is probably something like a Forge, then a Robo. But he could go for something like a Stargate, followed by a Forge a little bit later on. He's done this against Teja, and he's done very well. I remember when he played versus Teja on this map, actually, the game that they played recently. HerO was doing a ton of damage. Up until like the 8th minute, he hadn't lost a single unit, and he had killed worse, like 1,500 mirrors. He still lost the game because he took some hidden expand that was really bad on this map. So gonna have to be careful. Oh, he was gonna go for the okay, he goes for the Robo.
Yeah, this is a bit more just the go-to standard here from the Protoss against the Terran. Wants to get those observers not only across the map to have a little bit of a look around, but also on the perimeter of bases as well, and does want to note the Stargate starport timing, which would have been on the way pretty quickly anyway.
A quick tech lab next to that starport. Could we see a Banshee here? The last time that ForGG and HerO played, they had the game on Yonsu, where ForGG tried to play basically a similar style to this, get a very quick factory, but it was on one base that one time. He wasn't able to do any damage, and then he got counter-attacked by a lot of Stalkers, and he knew there was no way he was going to be able to hold, so he just left the game very quickly. It was actually a very short game, like an 8-minute game. So here, he's going to have to be very careful not to fail with this if he invests that much into something like that. He's getting a Viking? What?
Interesting choice. And that Pro gets in. Oh, and he sees that it was a tech lab. But the interesting thing about all of that, this might be a ruse, depending on if he saw that probe or not early on, because...
Is he anticipating some kind of oracle?
I guess so. But at the same time now, HerO is anticipating a Banshee.
Mech?
He has to be anticipating a Banshee, right?
Look at the placement of this barracks. He doesn't have any add-on on it. Does he go for something like mech? He's getting a Raven now.
Oh, he's going mech. He is actually going mech by the looks of things.
If he starts like something like a third command center now, I think, and he just tries to defend, make sure he's okay against everything. Because look, like right now, HerO has to play defensively. He knows that there are aliens. He saw that there was a starport with a tech lab producing something. HerO is on full defensive mode. Actually, if HerO goes, look, HerO has a pylon. He's gonna warp in a ton of stalkers. This is gonna be so hard for ForGG to hold this.
Yeah,
he's getting Hellions and a Raven. Those are not good units against mass stalkers.
The Raven won't even have a little... It's going to have to be so close in terms of this defense. He's going to have to control this brilliantly. The Stalkers will actually micro back from this. The Marines that were produced before from that thing have been out and going to help this out quite a bit as the Raven's now out. He's chrono-piercing gateways.
Wow.
He's looking to go for the power here.
He's going to kill so much SCVs, I think. Because ForGG has to pull SCVs right now. Oh, that Raven here.
The Raven absolutely needs to use point defense drone here in a good location as well.
Before, man.
He could actually target that down, but he's actually just trying to bring down all the fighting units on the ground.
It's very smart what ForGG is doing. He's staying up the ramp where HerO has no vision, so every time he goes up, he's getting shot down quite heavily.
He decided to use auto turret. I mean,
he had no choice, I think.
Yeah, you absolutely have to just use what you can there to actually deal with that and defend. But this is interesting, man.
This is a great start for HerO, because so many FCVs have been pulled off the line. We have 28 SCVs against 43 probes. In the meantime, HerO continuously making probes. Cloak and a bench here, he's gonna start. I don't think ForGG realizes that there is an observer on the way.
Yeah, slight delay here. The Stalkers continue to push on forwards here. HerO's really capitalizing on the build that ForGG has chosen. He loves his Hellions, but it really hasn't worked out for him here in game number 1. As he loses the Raven as well, and these Stalkers, they're just gonna micro on back.
That micro was absolutely orgasmic, man. He sniped all of the Hellions one by one.
Yeah.
He got everything here. He got a whole bunch of SCVs, and actually not that many if you think about it. He killed 5 SCVs so far in this game, so that barrack's gonna have to be lifted and pulled back, but the pressure will continue. And actually the Banshee was detected. He just killed something, I think a Stalker. Photon overcharge was used.
And I mean, with the Banshee being at the front alone during all of this and not really producing a whole lot, HerO knows exactly what's going on without really seeing too much of what's in the base. He knows how to prepare. He's adding on Twilight Council. He's probably going to go over to Charge eventually, or
I think
Temple
Blink.
Archives.
I think Blink. He's already on 3 gateways. If he goes for Blink and adds on like 2 extra gateways and just goes for an all-in, he's going to be able to end the game. But actually, he goes for a Stargate. Interesting.
He's really mixing it up. Forge as well, getting those upgrades out.
Probably wants to get some Phoenixes. He knows that there are Ravens, he knows that there are Banshees, wants to make sure he can kill those easily.
So we're going to have even more
ForGG, I can't believe that he went for a third command center that quickly, considering all the damage he took, and he knows that HerO's not going to slow down too.
I think he's still in trouble. Still in a lot of trouble. I mean, how is he going to actually hold on and not get completely traded off against these Stalkers? Because right now, the resources lost here for ForGG is really, really bad. He's not in a good spot at all. And there's even more gateways going to get added on here for HerO, so he's going to keep powering this down.
Yeah, I think this is a good choice here. I'm surprised he hasn't started Blink here. I really think that going for Blink and like 6 or 7 gates, there is no way that ForGG will hold. And even if he held, he will take so much damage that he will fall even more behind.
Is the Stargate for like adding on Phoenix, just in case he sees prolonged Banshee production?
Yeah, possibly. I think he was thinking about getting Phoenixes, but then he realized, you know what, I'm just going to make gateways and kill this guy. Look, he started Blink now.
Yeah.
He just has to make sure to chrono boost that, and there is not a single tank on the map. Let's just say Hellions against Stalkers, they are not the best units.
He's actually just going, I just don't think this is going to work at all. HerO is playing this brilliantly. He's keeping good eyes, good tabs on what his opponent's doing, and transitioning onto a third base.
And he made cannons in his bases, in his mineral lines, to make sure he was going to be fine there against some kind of Banshee harass. Remember, ForGG has Cloak. ForGG is losing so much mining time. Look at the income. Like mules are not being dropped down right now.
I really...
a little bit surprised. ForGG should be more careful.
I really think you have a good point about this one siege tank, though. I think that if this had been out a little bit earlier, then this would have been a whole lot harder for HerO to really do anything with. But he's done so much damage, not only containing his opponent, but just killing off unit after unit.
This is similar to what we've seen from MC2. Like just snowballing out of control like this, just with some Stalkers. And so few players are able to pull this off. just constant attack from start to finish, perfect macro in the meantime. You see HerO is down 3 bases. He's in a position, a really favorable position. He has defense everywhere with some cannons. He's adding on extra gateways, and Blix will finish in a second. He has an observer in position. I don't see how ForGG stays in this game much longer.
That Siege Tank actually needs to be careful.
The Raven's gonna get the observer?
Oh, well, actually, okay, that's a nice pick-off. Oh, will blink forwards, gets one Banshee, but in the end, if that observer hadn't gone down, then he could have tried to take out tanks. So it was a little bit of a small dance there that was going on, and ForGG played it well.
I wonder if ForGG is playing mech on this map. I think it's probably a one-time build, just like Major did versus A-Bomb at the Intel Extreme Masters. ForGG saw that game or not and decided that he was going to try this once. The thing is, HerO read right into this without much information, to be honest.
So quickly.
He saw the tech lab on the starport. He's like, you know what? I'm going to make some stalkers. I'm going to pressure, and he did so much damage.
He really knew exactly where to exploit his opponent very, very early on, and now ForGG is reeling from it. He's adding on a lot of tanks. His production's now begun, but that Banshee gets obliterated out of the skies, and ForGG is just running around everywhere with these Hellions trying to find something.
You know, this is very important to stay aggressive against this type of play from a Terran, because if you play passive, that's when the Terran's going to run you over. Yeah. He's going to get his quick third base, he's going to get the critical mass that he needs with mech for it to be very, very strong. He gets his Raven high on energy, and it's going to be very difficult to deal with it. Yeah, I like the double robo here. The double additional robo, actually.
He's going to go up to 3 robos.
Yeah, he wants a lot of immortals, which you need against mech.
Yeah. Oh, blinks forwards after the unsiege has occurred here, and
doesn't have enough, I think.
Yeah, the point defense drone, very, very important. Zealots on the left-hand side here also get connect with these siege tanks in the end. I think HerO's kind of happy to trade off here with his 3 base.
He does have enough, because he has that pylon behind. Yeah. He rewarped a lot of Zealots behind. This was too early for ForGG to try and take that third. Maybe if he had cleaned that pylon, he would have been able to take it. But now, the Stalkers and Zealots, they are traded against siege tanks and Hellions. He got the Raven, I think.
Yeah, if they'd have gone in level pegging into this location, all those Stalkers.
Oh my God, that big warping.
Yeah, if he'd have gone level pegging into this engagement, then it would have been a whole different story. But HerO knows how much damage he did earlier on. He can trade off against this, kill all the siege tanks, keep it down. GG. Game number 1 goes very impressively to Liquid HerO.
And ForGG's mech not going to be successful in the first game.
He needs to call that hammer back, man. It needs to come back, because right then it was not in his hands.
You're such a nerd.
That was, yeah, man. I'm sorry about that.
Oh wow, you should be proud.
I'm very proud.
Say, hell yes, I'm a nerd.
I am very proud of being a nerd, man. It's great times. I'm just apologizing to you, because you're not the biggest of nerds, I don't think.
What do you mean? I am.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe I wish I am, but I'm just not that good at it.
You wish you were? Okay, I can teach you the ways. All right. Anyway, so for now, ForGG currently 1 game down here against HerO. HerO played that game out so well, considering what he'd seen reconnaissance-wise, and then just pressuring from that point on. A tough position for ForGG to be in, and now if he plays mech again, it's going to be a little bit predictable. HerO's just going to try and scout that out again, and then could quite easily pressure. But we could see ForGG mix it up a bit, and then if he were to go for the siege tank a little bit quicker, it would deal with that quite nicely.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how ForGG's current better style with a lot of bioforces, some Hellbats, a third base, and just constant aggression will do against somebody like HerO. And I'm not sure if he tried that mech build he just tried, because he lacks confidence, or because he thought that he was really going to be able to surprise his opponent and take the win from there. And I have to say, HerO, he was relentless in that game. He attacked non-stop from start to finish. That's always the most impressive games to see from me, because attacking and doing it well is one thing, but doing that well and defending at the same time at home, making sure he's safe, macroing right,
yeah, exactly.
Not getting supply blocked a single time. This is actually extremely difficult.
Yeah, I know all too well how difficult that can be, Todd. Anyway, we're getting into game number 2 here for ForGG versus HerO. And HerO looking pretty awesome in that game at number 1. But will ForGG mix it up? Because we haven't seen him play too much mech against Protoss in the past. He's always been favoring that bio style. And attempting that, it could have gone well if he'd have gone in level pegging, but as I say, he just got torn out of the sky.
He's a Brood War player, man. I'm sure he played plenty of mech, just not in this
game.
That's true,
yeah. You've got a very good point, but Ah! Panic! Game number 2, up to the top right, we have Liquid HerO! It's a probe. That's why I'm panicking, Todd. And down to the bottom left-hand corner, we have our blue Terran representing Millennium. It's ForGG.
We've seen MC actually be successful recently versus Bomber with the very same proxy. He's going to put it in the bottom right. This should be only one gateway. And actually MC, he went for a gateway and then left. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, he's going to put it in the other corner.
Evil.
And you know, this is good here for HerO because I don't think Terrans ever check there. Whereas on the bottom right-hand side of the base, they check very often. They sometimes even put a depot there. And I think there is no way ForGG is going to see this. This should only be one gateway. And because of the position here, I think HerO, he might stay in the main with his probe. If you send your probe back home and then this is spotted, this is like the silliest proxy ever.
Yeah, it really is. This is crazy. I didn't expect him to do this in game number 2, but now...
And you know what? I've talked a lot about this before, but not so far in this tournament because this is the only game of HerO like we've seen so far. This is his first match. He's practicing a ton for Pro League. And what does that do to you? You have to try different builds every day, and a lot of the time those are going to be in best of 1. So you work on a lot of proxy builds.
Yeah.
He's had quite many successful proxy builds recently. He proxied live on Belcher Vestige earlier, and it worked with the double gateway. So I think this is going to be microed really well here, and it's going to be very good.
The one advantage that we're seeing from ForGG compared to previous game is the fact that he did open up for Reaper, so he will have one out eventually, but it's going to be rallied across the other side of the map. So by the time that Reaper gets out, it might be halfway through the map.
I don't think... Like you supposedly with this, you go with the first Zealot. You go with the first Zealot and you place it behind your opponent's mineral line, behind the mineral patches, so that not too many SCVs can get around on it. And this should be pretty bad for ForGG. If he micros it, really messes up, then he's going to be okay. But right now, I really think that this is
saving them.
Good.
He's saving the Zealot.
Ooh, I did not expect this.
Oh, this could be for anticipating a Reaper opener.
And this could go very well for him. If the Reaper's across the map and there is nothing in the main, and he has 2 Zealots there slicing up SCVs, ForGG is going to lose so much mining time. Behind this, we're going to have Stalkers coming out of that gateway, and it only goes downhill from there.
And he didn't send that SCV over to the right-hand side to see all the buildings. He's actually trying to block off the probe from the expansion that isn't going down anyway. So the Zealots are now going to go to work on this mineral line. That's causing a lot of problems. That Reaper realizes it's too late to turn around. He's going to go over there and try and kill probes where he can. But he's even working on the reactor.
Wow. ForGG needs some Marines. He needs something to help and defend against this.
He's evacuating. Run away, ForGG! Run!
That single Reaper is going to have a lot of work ahead of him.
Yeah, he's got to do a lot.
Actually, the Mothership Core is going to be made. That bunker is going to get cancelled, and this is going to be almost impossible from there to win for ForGG. Happy Valentine's Day. You got proxied.
Oh, wow. HerO. There you go, GG. Liquid HerO takes the series 2-0. What a play.
Last time they played, they actually had an 8 minutes game on this map. And now HerO was like, I want to beat that record.
Balls of steel. As Liquid HerO advances on. He's going to be playing against Rain to find out who advances on to the round of 8. ForGG is not happy. Oh, dear me. That was a bit of a brutal loss there.
He needs to drop the Thor.
He needs to drop that Thor hammer. It's... oh, dear.
He needs to drop a Thor.
A Thor. Just kind of summons ones from the skies. Okay, so... There you go. HerO advances on. Well played by him. And it will be a PvP to decide who advances on to the round of 8 first. We've seen quite a bit of PvP
That
so
was
far.
a weird game. Like, out of all the things, I really thought that HerO was going to send in the first Zealots, but if you think about it, because he had placed it there and this is never going to be scouted, it's probably a lot better to wait in this situation. Whereas if you place it on the bottom right-hand side, especially if you're spotted, you're always going to send the Zealot right away. But now he was not spotted, and pretty nice timing, waiting for the Reaper to be out on the map.
The interesting thing about all of that is that not only would I think not only did HerO anticipate the first Reaper moving out and then save the Zealots, but also he anticipated, I would argue, only one Reaper. Because if you go for 2 Reapers in that situation as a Terran, then you do have an opportunity to try and defend and micro around with that second Reaper. But he went straight from Reaper into Reactor.
You will lose a lot of mining time regardless, which is what HerO wants. And behind this, he goes for... I think the best way to counter this is to go for a lot of Marines early on. If you go for like a 1 rack 6 pen, you might be able to get enough Marines. But the best case scenario for a Terran is to see it. You get a barracks, then you scout a little bit right after around your base. You see that proxy, you just get a second barracks, then you're so far ahead. You basically almost instantly won, which in this case, that was quite the opposite.
Crazy game.
How ForGG was like, I'm just gonna counter with a single Reaper and kill you, and it starts the bunker.
Like lifts everything off. It's like
Your
base is mine.
I don't think so. Just pull the probes and make sure that did not happen.
Yeah, very, very good play by HerO there. So him taking the 2-0 victory, kind of upsetting my and Sean's kind of thoughts going into that series. But what can you do? HerO's pretty good in the end. Doing well for himself, and good for him now. But he has to defeat Rain in a PvP. But HerO's PvP is pretty darn good as well.
And by the way, if you think about it, even if that bunker had gone up, there was Mothership Core coming out. How does he shoot air?
That's true.
It would be a little bit of a problem. Yeah, so not the right reaction to this. This is really getting me to think about like all the scenarios of this proxy. And the Terrans will think hard too, because on ladder you better check this spot now. Everybody just saw this, all the Protosses.
I know you like proxies, Todd. I keep watching you end up proxying when it comes to...
I don't like proxy. The thing is, in Sao Paulo, when I was watching the games, like it was super hot, so I wanted to do something like at the same time. And I was playing ladder, and I had to cast often, like 1 series out of 2. So I just proxied like all the time to make sure, like,
excuse
the games,
right now.
Yeah, but it's for fun, man. When I play ladder for real, I don't proxy. People who watch my stream, they know.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Todd. It's always a pleasure casting alongside you, and we might be casting again in PvP, considering we've already done a lot of PvP during this tournament. That's going to do it for him here at the casting desk. Let's see what Mr. Red Eye has to say.
Thank you very much, James, and Mr. Todd, Mr. Non-proxying Todd. I saw those games that he was playing in Sao Paulo in the warm-up area as well. So, happy Valentine's Day, you got proxied, and that's how it goes for Terrans these days. 4GG, unfortunately, will drop down to the lower bracket. We'll have another shot at getting through, though, but our next game will be the winners' final, which will be Rain versus HerO. Can't wait for that one. Before we get there, though, we just have time to check in with our social media that's been going on. There's been a distinct lack of Valentine's cards so far, if you weren't with us earlier on. Here's one example of a Valentine's Day card. This one sees Todd in the corner crying because I've got my arm around Apollo. That's right. Welcome to Awkward Corner. If you think you can do better and show us your Valentine's Day cards, it could be for one of the players here as well. Don't forget we've got just tons of fantastic players here, all 16 players. I'm sure one of them would love to see your Valentine's card. We will show the best ones in our different breaks and segments throughout the day. So keep them coming. Use the hashtag #IEM on Twitter. That's all you have to do, and show us your best Valentine's Day cards on this very special Love Day. That's right, it's Dr. Love Eye here at the social media desk. I don't know. We're just going with awkward all day long, I guess. Time for a break now. When we come back, some more serious business of StarCraft 2.